Israelites, them same Negroes, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that tell you that you are the chosen people of God according to the Bible, right? The Bible is not no white man's book. The Bible's FUBU, for you and by you. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And in the Hebrew tongue, the Lashon Kadash, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. No, give me Deuteronomy 7 and 8.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your father, hath the Lord brought you out of with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
See, the Most High, he delivered us out of the house of bondage because what, he was faithful to keep the oath that he gave unto us. Right? But Israel, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, y'all don't care about that oath. You don't consider anything that was written in the law, statutes, and commandments. Those things were written for you, for your good. Right? Keep going.
Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God.
He is what?
He is God.
He is God. You think that the Lord is just some regular old dude. He is God. He is what? Over every and anything of this earth. Alpha and Omega. Keep going.
The faithful God.
The faithful God.
Gonna go,
the Most High has every reason to cast you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans away. He's been punishing us over and over again that we might get it right, but we won't listen. It's been a year now. It's been almost 2 years that we've been out here. Keep going.
Which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
To 1,000 generations.
You got questions, sis?
It hasn't even been 1,000 generations.
She started walking off, and when you said you won't listen, she stopped, turned back around. That spirit cut her for a second, man.
Yeah, keep going. Give me 10 and 12. Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
You got to serve the Lord, our God, not everybody else's God, our God with all our heart and all our soul. A lot of us, we quick to cast away the Lord. Or I already did that church stuff. But your pastor don't know what the hell he's talking about. Your pastor went to seminary school, all that, and still don't know how to read the Bible properly. But because your pastor failed you, you believe that the Lord ain't real, or the Lord is full of, you know, quote unquote BS. But you haven't read the Bible for yourself. It's a reason why the Bible is highly regarded, and it's the top sold book on the face of the earth, the top printed book on the face of the earth. It's more Bibles on the face of the earth than any other book, for one reason: spirit and prophecy. The things that are written in this book, it happens. If you don't believe that, then the Most High just haven't revealed it to you yet. Why? Because if you don't follow the law, statutes, commandments that he told you, the law, statutes, and commandments that Moses and the Israelites kept, which blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are, and they should still keep to this day, you won't get no understanding of the Lord.
That's right.
Because one, you're not worthy. Like that man, Esau Edom. He's not worthy to know the prophecies and prophetic things of the Lord. Right? Keep going.
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To keep the what?
The commandments of the Lord.
To keep the commandments of the Lord. But your pastor will say, no, no, no. What did Creflo? No, I think it was T.D. Jake said it. He was so slick with it. You see, the law bring in death. So therefore, you don't want to die. So if you keep the law, you will die. So if you don't keep the law, you live. You come back in Christ. That don't make no damn sense, right? He was slick. That's what serpents do.
Right.
And what did Christ say? Christ said what? 1 jot, no tittle, man. It don't matter. 1 jot, no 1 tittle. None pass away from the law. And anybody that teach not to do the law, what? You're going to be the lowest in the kingdom. That means your ass not getting in. Right? Keep going. Keep going on that Deuteronomy 10. To do his commandments. I think it was at 13.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
For our good. The Lord said to keep the law, statutes, and commandments for our good. If you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, what does that mean? If you keep them and it's for your good, what's going to happen to you if you don't keep them? Obviously bad. Right, let's pull this back a little bit.
Yeah.
Jake just gonna walk right behind us and all that.
They still gonna do it.
Yeah, you know, if he doesn't, then you know, it's not gonna be much room for me to push him in the street so he get hit by a car.
Judgment.
Judgment, right? Give me hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Right, so the Most High said, if you keep the commandments, therefore you're good. Therefore you're good. Let's get that. Why is it good to keep the commandments? Because we gotta come out here and we gotta persuade you to keep the commandments. We gotta show you that keeping the commandments is much profit, because you don't believe there's any profit in keeping the commandments. You think it's better to be a regular old man, but it's written it's better to have a guide than to have none. Right, keep going.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
No, that he said, it will come to pass if you hearken diligently. That means you got to be diligent. You got to really search and seek out the Lord. That means Sunday is not the only time you seek the Lord. You got to seek the Lord every chance you get. 24/7, 7 days a week. Just how you chase a bag, you got to chase the Lord as well. Just how you chasing these women out here, you got to chase the Lord as well. Your attention is averted to the wrong thing. That woman is not going to give you salvation. That woman is going to take your money and leave you looking stupid and give that money to a man that she actually loves over you. But the Lord won't do that. Right? Keep going.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
To observe. That means to observe, watch, look at the commandments. See the commandments we kept and then do them. You got to learn the commandments. But if your pastor telling you that there's only 10 commandments, then he's sorely mistaken. There's more than 10 commandments. One commandment that is not written in the 10 commandments is that you're sodomite. Man shall not lie with man. That's why you got homosexuals in the Christian church, because you only got to keep the big 10. But you forgetting about the 613. Right, keep going.
Which I command thee this day.
That he commanded us today, this day. Not tomorrow. Not next week. This day. We got to get it right now. Our people put away the things that they need to do right now to get their life in order, get their people in order, get their house in order, get the nation in order, and they go around doing folly. Going around flying to Miami, going around going to Jamaica, drinking some what's some drinks down in Jamaica?
Mai Tais.
Mai Tais. Getting drunk in Jamaica.
Margaritas.
Getting some good old tequila with the pineapples in it. Right? They want to get drunk. They want to be happy and merry. Right? You're happy and merry, but the whole nation is sick. Everybody's in turmoil right now. The Lord said, I speak through you in tempest and storm. What's happening?
Tempest and storms.
Well, what they call that? Dorian. They call it Hurricane Dorian. The Lord said, I speak to you in tempest and storm. That means great judgment is happening. If you don't understand that the Lord is judging this place, then you got to get out of your mind. You got to convert yourself. Give me Psalms 19:7. Psalms 19:7. Everybody's worried about what they want. Well, what they need, what they desire.
Of course, the refrigerator wouldn't work.
Oh, the water out. All right, brother. You an Israelite, brother?
You're an Israelite. Keep the commandment.
Can we get you a flyer?
Cold.
It's all good.
Keep up the good work.
They listen.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, but
Psalms 19 verse 7. Psalms 19 verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect,
The law of the Lord is perfect.
converting the soul.
Converting your soul.
That's right.
The testimony of the Lord is sure,
That's
making
sure.
wise the simple.
That's sure, that making wise the simple. That's why you follow the law and not what men say, what men do, what men want. You follow the law. Give me Leviticus 19:17. You follow the law. The law is sure. The law always got your back. If you break the law, you go against the law. The law is perfect. If you just kept the law, you walk in meekness, humbleness, and pure affection on the earth. But if you don't, you're going to be led astray. This law is what guides us, right? Give me Proverbs 3:17. Bring that Leviticus out, huh?
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Proverbs 6:23. You got to rebuke your neighbor and not suffer sin upon them. Why? Because if you see somebody about to do something that can get them in harm's way or in trouble or damnation, let's say somebody's about to break a law, you're not going to warn them? That's not in your spirit. You're not going to warn them. If somebody about to cross the street and a car's about to hit them, you're not going to warn them? That's not real love or affection. But our people in our community, I ain't no snitch, or they ain't got nothing to do with me. So don't be upset when you in trouble or when something bad happened to you and nobody warned you if you got that same spirit. That's the foolishness of our community. That's the foolishness of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They're for everybody else. They'll tell any old white man that's coming through down the block. Any old white, white people don't even have to say they lost. Caucasians could walk down and be like, well, and be in one spot and look around, and one Jake, one black person walk up, are you lost? I can show you where to go, but they'll never do it for their own. They got love for everybody else but their own people. And that's what's destroying us. That's why Caucasians, look at them. When their nation is falling, they kick everybody else out. They're not worried about nobody else. Once their nation falling, our birth rate's low, we gotta kick you Hispanics out. You see that? That's wicked as hell. What is he ain't even pulling nobody over. Hey, what you just said? Yeah, come, bring it out, Doc.
Proverbs 6 verse 23.
Bring it out.
For the commandment is a lamp,
The commandment is a lamp, right? Keep going.
and the law is light,
And the law is light. Keep going.
and reproofs of instruction.
And reproof of instruction. The law is instruction. How to deal with one another. How to deal with society. What do you think these white people had when they came over here half naked off a boat? They had a Bible in their hand. That's the only law they knew of the Bible. That's the only law they had when they came over here. That's how they built Jamestown. That's how they built Maryland. They had the Bible. And then once all the colonies came together, then they made what? The judicial system. Where they get the judicial system from? They got it from the Bible. So when I talk to you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, clearly our community is in shambles. Clearly we need order. Clearly we need instruction. Clearly we need reproof. But when I open the Bible, oh, that ain't gonna help us. But the Bible is the only reason why America is great. Donald Trump is talking about, let's make America great again. Well, then why don't he go by the Bible? Why don't you notice a lot of these Caucasians, they say, let's make America great again. They start doing things like, let's stop abortion. Well, why you want to stop abortion? Oh, it's my biblical belief. It's my belief in the Bible. It goes against the Bible. Why? Because in their mind, they already know the only reason why America is a great, for some of you cool Negroes, America is a great, is because the Bible. And we need that in our life. You need that. Give me Matthew 5 and 18. You need the Bible in your life. You need that, straight up. Give me Romans 7 and 1. You need the Bible in your life.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
He said, the Lord said, verily I say unto you, until heaven and earth pass, right? And we on earth, and we can see heaven, right? Keep going.
One jot or one tittle.
That means a period. That means a comma, an exclamation mark, right? Keep going.
One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
That means nothing passed from the law. If you can't remove a period from the law. So why are you removing whole commandments from the law and the Lord ain't back? Why are you removing whole commandments from the law and the Christ ain't back yet? Keep going.
Till all be fulfilled.
Until all be fulfilled. Everything ain't fulfilled. We ain't in the kingdom of heaven yet. So why is your pastor telling you that you ain't got to keep the law, statute, commandments? Keep going.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
He said if you break one of these least commandments, right, keep going.
And teach men so.
And teach men so. Like, keep going.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called the least of the kingdom of heaven. That's what your pastor do. Your pastor go around, you don't got to keep the laws, you on the grace. You ain't got to keep the law. The law's done away with. That's what your pastor's saying. Your pastor set himself up for being the least in the kingdom. And the least in the kingdom means, nigga, you're not getting in. That's what that means. Right? Bring that out. Romans 7.
Romans chapter 7, verse 1.
Finish that.
But whosoever shall do and teach them the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So anybody that do and teach the law, statute, commandments, they are going to be great in heaven. Our women need to be in order. Our men need to take care of their children. We need to stop hating one another and build as a community. And we need to go by the law of God. Why? Because what's going to happen? America's not going to last forever. America's not going to go on forever. What happens when Caucasians, they die out and you got to eventually reconcile with one another and you got to go and rule yourselves. If you got to rule yourselves, because Caucasians are not going to live forever. It's not going to be many of them left. They're going out. Their birth rate is low. So when Negroes are left to their own devices, how are you going to rule yourselves and set yourselves in order? What law you got better than the laws of God? The laws that made the white man who he is any damn way. Because he came and used them and set them in order. That's where you get the Blair Witch trials, because in the law it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. They were keeping these laws in the foundation of America. When America was, quote unquote, becoming great, they kept these laws. So if you Negroes want to be great like the white man, you need to keep the law, statute, commandments of the Lord Yahweh. and Hamashiach Yahushua, who is ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Right? Bring that out.
Romans chapter 7, verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
Now, Paul was saying, know ye not, brethren. I speak to them that know the law. I speak to men that understand and know the law, because why? Paul is a Pharisee. Your pastor always talk about how Pharisees are evil and wicked, but your pastor will never let you know that the person that he always runs to in the scriptures to say that the white man is saved, he's a Pharisee. All the Pharisees are wicked, but Paul's a Pharisee, and y'all run into the Pharisee. He's speaking to them that know the law. Keep going.
How that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
The law has dominion over a man as long as you live. Even when you come down to the foundation of America, if a man kill, if thou shalt not murder, that's a law. Thou shalt not murder is a law. Now, what happens if you murder somebody in America? What happens if you murder somebody in America? You go to jail. Or you die, which is according to the law, by what? Execution. They execute you for killing people. Right? They deem that executing people is uncivil, but according to the law of God, that's how you have to deal with people. Even America abides by what God's laws, but you Negroes don't. You get upset when you get upset at a rival gang member because he's wearing a different color than you, and you put him to death. You get mad at the so-called white man over color. Oh, he don't like us because our color, but you killing each other over a damn color. That's hypocrisy. That's why the Lord is destroying the hell out of our people right now. Go ahead,
I found out yesterday that the red represents Republicans and blue represents Democrats. So, you know,
It's because Esau set it up.
Right.
Esau set that up.
Right.
All y'all doing is the work of the devil, man. Who is Esau?
Good question.
Esau's a so-called white man.
Who God hates.
According to Genesis 25 and 27.
Oh, so Esau is the white man.
Esau's a so-called white man. Get your precept.
Okay. This is James 2 and 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law, for whosoever shall keep the whole law,
All right, keep going.
and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
Why? Keep going.
For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law.
You see that? You can't break no law. You got certain people, well, you know, I ain't out, it's certain men out here, I ain't out here killing nobody, but I'm sleeping with other men's wives. That's not order. Well, I ain't no murderer though. I ain't no adulterer. Oh yeah, I'm just selling drugs, but drugs is actually witchcraft according to the Bible. When you go into the Bible and look at the Strong's, it says pharmaceutica. It's sorcery. You selling drugs. You selling drugs to your own people. That's witchcraft, right? That's wrong. Bring that out. Genesis 25 and 25, and bring out Genesis 27. 25 and 27. 27 and chapter 27, because we gotta get his blessing. Genesis 27 and 28.
I got
All right.
clothes on, I got t-shirts.
Yeah.
Genesis 5 and 25.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm prepared around homeless.
Where's your? Why don't you give me some? You got a suitcase.
Motherfucking right.
You got a whole suitcase.
Hey, watch this. I'm gonna show you what a big mouth motherfucker will get his ass when he read the Bible. Hey, bro. Hey, my man, come on, put this shirt
So
on.
I guess you don't believe in the Bible, huh?
I got a Bible in my
Wait,
bag.
hold up.
I
So
got a Bible in my
wasn't-
bag.
hold up.
I got a Bible in my bag. What's the
In the
devil's
bag.
greatest
I gotta ask
weapon?
you a
What's the
question.
devil's?
In the
What's the
bag.
devil?
I
No,
gotta-
wait, no.
I gotta
What's the
ask you-
devil's?
I have
What's
to
the
ask- I
devil's
have to
greatest
ask you a
weapon?
question.
Okay,
gotta
excuse
ask
me,
you-
sir.
I have to
What's
ask
the
you- I
devil's
have to
greatest
ask you
weapon?
one question.
What's the devil's greatest
I have to
weapon?
ask
You don't
one
know.
question. Were you gonna give a T-shirt if we didn't say nothing? Were you gonna give him a T-shirt if we didn't tell you nothing? Were you gonna give that man a T-shirt?
Bro, we out here trying to teach, bro.
Say something.
It's up to the people that want to hear this or not, bro. We ain't out here playing no game, bro.
So then don't say what he wants you to hear. Say what God wants you to hear.
That's what we trying to do.
You can say it over his
I'm homeless. I ain't got $1. I'm homeless.
We didn't come out here to
I'm homeless.
t-shirt.
What you got?
bro. We ain't come out here to t-shirt. Man, I gotta think about that.
I'm homeless too.
What's the devil's greatest weapon? What's the devil's greatest weapon? What's the devil's greatest weapon? You don't know the devil's greatest weapon. What's the devil's greatest weapon?
Whatever you say, keep
music.
God's word.
Music.
All right, bro?
Music. That's the devil's greatest weapon. Y'all know what it is. He ain't got a t-shirt, but he got the fucking Bible in his hand. Get the fuck out.
I got 2 t-shirts on, King.
Wow.
That's the thing, though. We ain't come out here for no t-shirt. How we know the man was supposed to be homeless? We came out here for the word of God, bro. He can't understand that, bro. Let that man go, man.
And I apologize to the camp for getting out of order. He just tried us, and he got a whole suitcase. That's why I said something, because he got a whole suitcase, and he telling us to give
Give
him
me
a shirt.
1 John 3:17.
So basically, all he's doing is speaking against the word. He ain't concerned about no t-shirt, because if he was concerned about a t-shirt, he would have already went in his suitcase and gave him something.
You wasn't gonna give him no T-shirt. We didn't say nothing. So shut up and go down the block. Shut the hell up and go down the block. Give me 1 John 3:17.
1 John 3:17.
Bring it out.
But whoso have this world's good and see his
Now,
brother.
if this brother had the world's goods, knew he had a T-shirt, came by. If we didn't say nothing, he wouldn't have gave him no T-shirt. You a wicked nigga. Keep going.
and see his brothers have need and shutteth up his bowels.
You saw your brother had need, but you shut up your bowels and asked us if we was gonna give him something when you had a damn shirt. So shut up, you hypocrite. Keep going.
And shut up his bowels.
You shut up your bowels to that man.
From him.
When what you could have did was give him a shirt and shut the hell up and keep going up the block.
That's right.
Keep going.
From him. How dwelleth the love of God in him?
So how dwelleth the love of God in you if you're gonna get mad at us when you got a shirt that you can give to a man when we ain't even know the man had need? You knew he had need, but you wanted to come over. Oh yeah, I got something. Oh well, let me show you something. You should have just gave him a shirt in the first place. That's not the spirit of the Lord. You don't do stuff in envy and strife. Oh, because you envy us and you got strife against us. Well, look, I'm gonna just show you that I give him a shirt because I don't feel like you won't. How you know we won't? I give him my shirt, the shirt that I got off my back from men that come up to me. The Lord said, do things in secret. You do stuff for other men to see.
And what's crazy though, he ain't even asked for no t-shirt. He asked for some money. He asked for no t-shirt.
Jake is just mad because, I don't know, the Bible bring demons off of people.
You receive this judgment just that quick. You know what happened, Lord work. That's lucky. That's why I said something, because the man had a whole suitcase. And the reason I said something was because he wasn't.